Zack Snyder has to leave Justice League. Doug Liman has to leave Justice League Dark. But on the bright side, Black Manta's dad is cast. And Wonder Woman's getting rave reviews, especially from someone on this show who may have seen it last night. But don't worry, no spoilers.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's DC Movie News.
In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's 4 greatest heroes.
Three, actually.
From the cosmic legends
yes.
of the universe.
One is out fighting crime on his
The
own.
Atom is with us here too. Oh, he's small. Roxy
There
just
he is.
rolled over him.
It's little Mikey. What's up, everybody? You know, we were so close to having the original squad back today. Unfortunately, Mike had something pop up. He had to bounce, but that's okay. We got 3 out of the 4.
hip people say biz ounce.
Yeah, he had a biz ounce.
Biz ounce.
Wow, you look so good with that.
I feel so good with this.
Seriously, you should wear it all the time.
I'm gonna.
That's what you need to do.
Gonna.
This is the DC Movie News Show on the Popcorn Talk Network, everybody. This is huge. This is the week before Wonder Woman, technically. So that means we've been waiting since, what, August for another movie? That's when Suicide Squad came
Yeah,
out?
but we've been waiting for 2.5 years on this show.
Sure, I'm just saying in general for another motion picture.
You're right. It's and it'll be as long until the next movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Remember when we did a show for an entire year without a film?
over a year, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Well, we're about to do that again.
Yes, we are. So here's the deal, guys. We're at DC Movies SK on Twitter and Facebook.com/DC Movies SK. I'm Jonny Loquasto at JQuasto. Back from Pakistan. My voice is kind of lost, but we're going to get through this. That man right there, fresh from all over the U.S. and Germany in his lederhosen. He is the Schmocker for Doghouse Restaurants and the host of Man vs. Child and FYI, Roxy, don't look left. And, of course, the host of FX Movie Download on FX. He's Adam Gertler.
Hey, everybody. Good to be back.
And you look like Wolverine as well.
Well, you know, there's a lot of characters that go with these sideburns. I had to do that for a little Freedom Ledges video for my band, the Freedom Ledges. I play harmonica, and I was a demented circus freak, and I kind of looked like an ICP. Woot, woot. Fago kind of situation.
A juggalo?
Kind of juggalo.
What's happening?
And then the Lederhosen, of course, I got in Germany. I was in London for Alien, then I was in Germany, then I was just in Texas. I was consuming lots of delicious smoked meat products.
Wait, you were in London for Alien.
Yes.
What did you think?
Oh,
Are you allowed to say?
No, yeah. I thought it was good, but I thought really, like, overall, nothing new brought to the table.
Yeah.
But some genuinely scary shit.
Was this a remake of the Sigourney Weaver or like an
No.
extension of?
No, this
In
was
continuity.
Yeah.
Prometheus,
Part
then
2.
this.
This was like Prometheus 2 called Alien Covenant.
They're doing their own prequel trilogy. But listen, the cool thing about that was that I sat at a round table where I had Ridley Scott to the right of me, Michael Fassbender right there, Catherine Waterston right there, Danny McBride right there, Billy Crudup right there, and Damien Bashir right there. And I'm like organizing a conversation.
And Adam Gertler right there.
And it was very, very cool. And hopefully I'll get to do it again with some other movies coming up. But
Where
listen,
can we see it?
I guess it's being aired on FXM and FX. I don't know if they're still airing it this week because Alien Covenant just opened. So
Right.
usually they air those like as a first look kind of thing.
Maybe some
Got it.
digital stuff, perhaps.
So yeah, exactly.
Might be on YouTube.
It could be, yeah.
Very
Could be.
good. Well, next to Adam Gertler, she is the host of TV Fights on Screen Junkies and is a certified Wonder Woman following the screening she went to last night and is about to drop some non-spoiler knowledge and feelings on us. Follow her on Twitter at Roxy Striar and on Instagram at Roxy Striar. She's Roxy Striar.
She be dropping that knowledge with no spoilers. Harmonica me in the background.
I wish I had them. I wish I had 'em.
And everyone knows circus freaks love harmonicas.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a big thing. I'm so excited that you got to see it.
I'm so excited that I got to see it. I really wish that the first time that the 4 of us got to see it all together, though. I just have so much stuff to say.
But you can't pass up that opportunity.
Right. And I also can't tell you guys what happened, but what I can tell you is that I loved this movie.
Wow.
It wasn't like, oh, it was better than the other ones.
Right,
it
right,
was
right.
like, this is a great film.
Aside from anything else, you just loved it.
Is it
Yes.
like, so is it a situation where like you've been so beaten down and so desperate to find something that you like that you're over liking it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I really don't think so. You know, what's interesting about this film is I'm seeing everybody else that's been talking about it. One of the first things they'll say is, there were still some flaws, but it's an amazing movie.
Right.
And I think you could say that about any amazing movie.
Sure.
There's a couple of things where, like, maybe you would have tweaked this look or that exact moment.
I mean, one of my all-time favorite DC movies, not to interject, but
No,
I know
go ahead.
Patty Jenkins looks to the Richard Donner Superman.
Yes.
Not a perfect movie.
No, not a perfect movie.
You know, but But the heart of it was perfect, which is why you buy, you know, you don't care about him turning back time and stupid stuff.
Yeah.
like that.
It's funny you say heart. That's one thing that I've gotten, and I'm sure a lot of you have from all the different trailers, is this Wonder Woman movie just has a heart to it. Whereas Suicide Squad, I don't know.
It's a little bit more
Yeah.
flash
You know,
than substance.
Exactly. And what I will say is what was interesting about it was the moments that really affected me. I didn't think would be the kind of thing that affected me. It was like all of a sudden I was kind of tearing up and I was like, wow, that's not even, I don't even think intended to be that sad of a moment. I just felt really proud and it was exciting. And so I was like, a little tears of joying, which is cool.
Nice.
And the entire theater, I saw it with Jeremy Johns was there,
Cool.
Kristian Harloff was there,
course.
Miri Jetikin, Roth Cornett, a lot of the
Most
digital,
of their buzz seemed.
and everybody was like, wow.
So you could assume this is
Yeah.
the first time they were all seeing it as well.
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
Oh, Kevin Smith. Yeah, and
Nice.
and they were like, I didn't hear walking out of the theater. Everybody was cheering. You didn't hear anything bad. It was all positivity. And yeah, it was really cool.
So not a spoiler thing, but were you surprised that A, Darkseid was in the film, and B, that he was actually an ape with a mocap suit?
How dare you
honestly,
for saying that?
Yeah, when Darkseid came out as an ape, I was a little skeptical.
Was it like one of those?
Big risk.
Was it like a Trading Places really bad ape costume? Or
No, it was on fleek. But big risk, great reward. So you know.
but his
how
name wasn't
that kind of thing
Darkseid. It
goes.
was Floppy the ape, right?
Flippy.
Flippy the
me.
ape. I
Second
apologize.
question, no spoiler, but which Flash from which Earth shows up in the third act?
Yeah.
Is it Jay Garrick?
It's yes.
Okay.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
Jay
though.
Garrick, yes,
love it.
loved him there.
And
it
was
really
Calista
cool.
Flockhart just as snippy in the film as she is on the TV?
Yeah, Calista Flockhart killed it in the film. She
deal.
was
Playing
just,
Cat Grant's ancestor?
Yes, yeah, exactly. It was exactly. Their chemistry is off the chain. Like I can't even explain to you how much the two of them. I'm talking real again. Chris Pine and Gal Gadot's chemistry is incredible. Not that the whole movie's about that. Just saying that.
What about Danny DeVito?
They're
as
wonderful.
Penguin?
Danny DeVito as Penguin was just what we had hoped. I thought it was Josh Gad, but now that you say it's Danny DeVito, that's right. Yeah. And so the cinematography, like I can't even explain to you guys. The music was awesome.
Okay.
You'll be very happy with it, I think. Yeah.
So the question I
So
had for
good.
you, and I think you already answered it. Clearly, you enjoyed this better than BVS and Suicide Squad.
Yeah, so remember for me, I know that this is different than most people. Right now, it was ranking, before this movie, it was ranking Suicide Squad at 1, BVS at 2, and Man of Steel at 3, which
Okay.
I know is opposite for a lot of people.
Okay, you just started a whole side battle in the
know.
chat roll, but keep going.
I know. Now it's Wonder Woman at 1, nothing takes spot 2, 3, or 4.
Because
Okay.
it's that
And
much
then-
better than the other two.
Oh, God.
You're making room for Aquaman right at 1
yes.
or 2.
And
right
Justice
there.
League,
And
obviously.
Justice League, yes, exactly. So it's really, really heartwarming. It's exactly what I wanted it to be. It explained enough, but left enough to your imagination. It was beautiful, and it was kick-ass, and it was girl power, man.
Yes.
Question. Your box office prediction for the opening weekend, because I know it was really soft a couple of weeks ago. People were talking, I heard you guys talking about this when I was away. The marketing in the past week, since after Guardians of the Galaxy 2 opened, is clearly taken over.
Yeah.
And they're marketing the hell out of this film.
Yeah.
How's
Now
Guardians doing, by the way?
Oh, great. I mean, it's like over 300 million domestic. It's
awesome.
destroying.
Yeah.
And it's a good movie.
It's good, a little cheesy.
Yeah,
But
but
good.
you know, it's funny, it's good. But this movie, now with the good buzz that it's getting, I gotta think you're looking for over 100 million.
I think so, too.
I mean-
I think, I don't know if I would say over, but I would say 100.
I don't know why that I
we
just
had talked
kind
about it was like 40. People were guessing 45 to 80 or something. It was like a huge range.
Well, yeah, but that was again before the big marketing
Right.
push and before anybody had seen it. And we had said a long time ago that once the buzz starts, it's really going to start to push it in one way or the other. Like, I know I'm crazy, but do you think it'll make more or less than Pirates of the Caribbean part Who Gives a Shit?
More.
More.
Yeah.
Chat roll, do you guys agree with that? Because I know these pirate movies
Well, it was
crush too, but I
interesting,
can't even
actually,
follow them.
For my screening, what was interesting was if you went left in the left line, it was Wonder Woman's screening line, and to the right line was Pirates screening line.
Oh, okay.
And everybody in Wonder Woman line was kind of laughing, like, why the would anybody be standing in the Pirates line
That's the
right
thing is,
now?
like, I've seen all the Pirates movies, and I can't tell them all apart. Like, my memory sucks, keep in mind.
Yeah.
I remember one had a ghost ship, one had
Yeah.
Davy Jones's locker. Was it the same
Yeah.
movie? I don't remember.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
Yeah,
I
now
saw
I'm
one of them because
confusing
Keith
the
Richards
ride.
was in it.
I don't know.
I saw one of them because Keith Richards was in it, but that was not.
Does that come out this weekend?
Yes.
Yes.
So that's another weird thing that,
But that-
they're only going to have one
But
weekend of dominance.
that comes out tonight,
Sure.
right?
Yeah, Thursday.
Pirates, yeah.
I kind of want to see that, actually.
Yeah.
So a lot of people in the chat room are predicting around that 100 mark, 105. I think that's good, and I'm secretly hoping for 135, just because I want to
Yeah.
freaking smack it home, you know?
I really,
But,
God, with the reviews, I mean, we can jump down to this. Twitter is like all over Wonder Woman right now as far as loving it. Different people who have seen screenings, and they're not giving away spoilers, but they're just a lot of like people in the industry are saying amazing things. And that's, if you remember Suicide Squad, we didn't really get a lot of that.
you know,
So
I know a lot of people think that there's a big anti-DC bias, and you could argue that, but I think that this movie, just by where we are in the country and the political climate and in the air, it feels like people are rooting for this movie.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's an anti-Wonder Woman bias right now. We really will know once people start to see it, but I think people really want it to do well.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that this is going to be one of those things that people don't just see once. I think you're going to go back to theaters and see it a couple of times, and we'll see that how that affects the box office. But I agree with you, Adam. I don't think that this is time to be anti-DC, especially
No.
we'll talk about what's going on with one of our leaders in DCEU. But I think that people have DC's back on this one, and good thing because it's freaking awesome.
And I'm glad you got to see it last night. That was that's really exciting for all
Yeah.
of us.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we're all going to see it together next Thursday, but I think we're all going to see it at some point during the day. By the way, I might as well say this now. There's a good chance that instead of doing a show next Thursday, we might do a show earlier in the day next Friday, because we're all going to see it on Thursday, and that way we could warn you ahead of time. We're going to be talking full on about Wonder Woman, and let's be honest, a lot of you who watch this show and who listen to this show will be seeing it on Thursday night. So if we are going to spoil it for you, totally cool. Just check us out a little bit later on in the weekend after you've seen it.
So that's safe to say that whenever we do a show, we're just going to talk about it unabashedly and do a
Yes,
full-on.
Yeah.
100%.
We don't know what time yet, but it's probably going to be next Friday sometime.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Also, Yvonne Soto's asking if I got this tiara at the premiere. Yes, they gave this to everybody's at the premiere, and they also gave us a poster, the one that we love with the lasso of truth.
How
going
cool is the
on.
lasso in the movie?
For me, it was one of my favorite parts. For one of the people in the close vicinity to me, they like couldn't believe how much they hated it. So I think that
Okay.
I was surprised with that. For me, I
Interesting.
thought it was unbelievable, and I will say that it is definitely utilized in the film.
Divisive use of Golden Lariat.
I mean, I think we've seen it already.
I mean, it looked cool from what I've seen,
I
but
loved
you know,
it. I thought it was perfection.
By the way, this is one of the most packed live chats we've had in quite some time. We're at like over 350 live watchers right now.
it's getting crowded in there.
Not bad considering we just put out a tweet like 10 minutes before we started.
Yeah.
We have to do that a little more ahead of time. Anyways, well, let's get to some somber news. Unfortunately, Zack Snyder has to leave Justice League due to, unfortunately, his family's gone through some very difficult times recently, and he came public with it, the suicide of his 20-year-old daughter.
So apparently she passed away in March.
Yeah.
And he had no intention on sharing this with the public, which is obviously his prerogative.
Kind of shocked it did not go out publicly.
Yeah, and it was just his immediate family and close friends that knew. And he thought he was going to be able to, I don't want to even say push through because it's not like he didn't do that, but he thought he was going to be able to stay on the movie.
To return to it, yeah.
And then once he realized it wasn't the right idea for him, it wasn't what he wanted to do or was capable of doing at the time, he came out with why, because he didn't want people to assume he was leaving for XYZ reason.
Yeah.
Right.
Which makes perfect sense.
Right.
Which leads us to Joss Whedon.
And Joss Whedon's taken over, but first thing about Zach, I can only imagine what it's like as a parent when your daughter or son takes their own life. I mean,
Actually, really young, 20.
20 years old. He's probably going through, him and his wife are probably both going through incredible guilt. What if we did this? What if we did that? And it's just very difficult I can only imagine being Zack Snyder on top of that, all the responsibility you have. So completely understandable why he left the movie. And it's just, it's a really tough situation.
Yeah.
No parent ever wants to have to bury their kid, especially in this kind of situations.
Yeah.
But he said, his quote was, "I knew there would be narratives created on the internet. They'll do what they do. The truth is, I'm past caring about that kind of thing now."
He said it's just a movie, even
yeah.
though it's a great movie. It's just a movie, and he's right. I mean, no parent ever thinks this is going to happen, and unfortunately it did.
To clarify, this is Zach's daughter with his previous wife.
Okay.
Not Deborah's daughter, because I know Deborah Sneider is also leaving. Yeah, I mean...
Leaving as a producer.
Leaving as a producer, yeah. They're both stepping down. You know, you got to think someone at 20 years old, and I know it's a difficult age. There's a lot going on, and you know nothing about the world, and you think being the daughter of someone so successful, you think you have it easy, and for whatever, and I know nothing about this situation, but clearly there was a tremendous amount of pain there, and it just goes to show that, you know, money isn't anything in the grand scheme of things. And
Michael Jackson's daughter went through the same thing for years. She's had
it's just, you want to reach out and like, you know, grab somebody that's at that age and help them. It's like, I know how hard it is. It'll get better if you can make it just a couple of years.
Yeah.
So it's awful. I have to admit, I feel like an asshole to some extent, and you know, because a lot of people were frustrated with the Zack Snyder DC world, and then something real like this happens, and you're like, well, I'm such an asshole for caring that much about something that in the grand scheme of things doesn't work. And it's sad that if he is leaving and not coming back to DC, which is a great possibility, it's sad that this is how that happened.
Yeah.
I agree with that, and I think it's very hard to compartmentalize these different things. Like, we weren't particularly great to him as fans, and we might not necessarily have liked his work, but that's very different than him as a human being.
Yes.
And his personal life, and our respect and support for him and everything he has given to us and what he is going through. So that's tough. I also want to clarify a couple of things in the chat. Tim says, so Deb can't have loved her too because she wasn't her biological mom. That is so not what Adam was saying.
No, I didn't. I don't think I said that. I don't even think.
Yeah. So to anybody who is interpreting it that way,
that's not what I meant.
And then to the people who are in the chat, like saying that he looked happy or anything, and now he's happy to be off the film. Like, honestly, guys, show some respect. The man lost his daughter, and there's nothing. I'm sure there's nothing.
Yeah, we don't need to.
About him.
We don't need to refer to what some people are saying in chat.
As far as Justice League goes, I don't think the overall film will be negatively affected.
No, Joss Whedon's on board.
And you know, that's the thing. Like, you know, what people do, I don't know if people realize this, but like when you have these big universes of films, a lot of the filmmakers are complicit once they start screenings and showing. And I guess once Joss Whedon became involved with Batgirl, it's kind of like, all right, you're in this family now. And he had been working with Zack Snyder on putting the film together. And here's the other thing. You know, they're planning on doing reshoots, but you got to think that this movie has evolved a lot between the time they started shooting it to now, based on all the things that we're hearing about the future of the DC films. They've still been molding the world, so it's very encouraging that Joss Whedon is a part of it. Yeah. And I think it's a tremendous testament to Joss Whedon, who after Avengers 2, I don't know if a lot of you remember, the guy was beaten down. He wanted nothing to do with making these big movies for a while. A lot of us saw him at Hall H, where he was just like, I'm gonna make a comic book. You know. So the fact that he's willing to walk into this film, you know, regardless of what people are going to give him shit or anything, and just like selflessly do that, I think is a great testament to him as an individual and a professional, and that everyone understands it's a thing that still has to happen despite all this tragedy. So it really is the best thing that could happen out of a horrible tragedy.
Yeah, and well, moving on to another Justice League Dark. Doug Liman also announced this week that he's going to be leaving. There's really no reason behind it as far as we know, but he's now off.
This one is weirder to me.
Yeah, literally the words out of my mouth.
Because we have so many films in the pipeline right now, and none of them are in production except Aquaman. So we don't know. We still don't know the order of these films unless they're going to have 9 of them in production at once. Right. So you might say, all right, well, they're just not ready to make Justice League Dark yet, in which case I could see Liman leaving because his next film was just greenlit. But in the same story, they're talking about who the replacement director is going to be. So now it makes me think it's a creative difference.
Yeah, I'm curious. Probably. But so I feel like I'm just getting over Guillermo del Toro. Like, what was that also a different situation than we thought it was? Is it not just about scheduling? Is it creativity?
Well, don't forget, Liman, this ain't the first superhero movie he backed out of. He also backed out of Gambit. So, bit of a pattern. I don't know.
Yeah, I also think that, I mean, I don't know. The thing about Guillermo is like, I don't know that everybody's as head over heels for Guillermo as people think, you know? Like, You know, Guillermo probably has a very specific vision, and I don't think that necessarily matched with this kind of universe.
Yeah.
And Doug Liman, just like a couple of weeks ago, we were reading a quote from him saying, like, yeah, I have a very specific
Yeah, and I was excited for
vision
him.
for
I
this.
like him a lot. Is this the biggest blow we've ever had? No.
Matthew Leach says it's not a creative difference. Who do you know? Matthew Leach?
Yeah, I mean, really.
What do you know?
A
If
lot
you
of
got
I
inside
love-
dope, please cite it.
I'm obsessed with our chat, but we get some fake
love them.
news sometimes.
No,
Hashtag
he
fake
might
news.
know something. He definitely might know
Maybe.
something. It said scheduling conflicts. I just find that that's really used a lot to mean, you know, not always scheduling conflicts. Is it? We know that, right? That's pretty obvious. That's what they say all the time.
Yeah. So also moving on, well, not really moving on, but same topic. So the Dark Universe, you guys can maybe shed a little bit of light on this. Justice League Dark, they are kind of going with the title of Dark Universe as like the project, apparently.
No, that's actually what Universal's doing.
Okay.
They were originally going to call it Dark Universe, but then Universal whipped their dark dick out, and they said, we're calling our thing Dark Universe.
How dark do you think their dick is, though?
You know what? It doesn't look that dark. I mean, with Tom Cruise
like-
and all that,
yeah,
I don't
not
know.
that dark.
It don't look like that dark a dick, but so I guess they're just. I don't know if. So what do you guys think they should call it? Because like Dark Justice.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because Justice League Dark doesn't sound great.
Dark Justice,
Dark Universe
Justice
is taken.
Dark, Dark League,
Maybe they call it Dark Dick.
Dark Dick.
Dark Dick is actually,
I like
Because
the alliteration.
Constantine is kind of like he's a dark detective kind of thing.
Dark
yeah,
Dick.
he's a dark private dick.
Thank you, nailed
Yeah.
it. Private Dark Dick.
The fact that they're
Yeah.
going with a horror flavor, though, with the person who directed the new It,
Yeah.
right? That's the speculation at this
That
point.
movie looks creepy.
Also, I wouldn't be surprised if they're looking for a much smaller budget for this film.
What are you thinking?
75, 80. Under 100.
I think it's a smart move, actually.
I mean,
I
make
don't
a
know.
smaller film. Not everything has to cost
only
$180
thing
million
with-
after Warner Brothers just ate shit
That could be
with
tough,
King Arthur.
though. With all of the supernatural
Yikes.
elements, it might be tough to do a tiny budget.
You know, I don't know.
By
75,
the way,
80
King
is
Arthur
not,
was a
That's not
stupid.
tiny, yeah.
King Arthur
We're not
was
talking
also
35.
King Arthur was a stupid decision. Honestly, do you know anyone who's
Did you see
interested?
it?
No.
Okay.
I have no interest. Who honestly, who has interest in
have-
going to see King Arthur?
I have never seen more posters around town for a film than I did for that.
Because
Yeah.
that's what happens in Hollywood when they think a film's gonna tank. They plaster everything all over the town.
Yeah.
But like really though, like look, I'm not saying I don't love history, but I
Right.
don't care about seeing King Arthur.
Well, it's not-
Hal
it's not
fan
really
49 says
history.
Dark
Well, whatever.
Monsters. Terry
mean,
McGinnis says Dark Nuts. That's a
technically,
really
whatever
good
it is.
title.
I like
Yeah,
Dark Justice. I think that's the
Dark Justice
Yeah.
is pretty good.
Dark Justice is a pretty badass title.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, I think it's a smart thing to not make every one of these movies 185 million, and if it means getting it greenlit and made, you just be a little bit more clever with how you use the effects. I understand a Swamp Thing heavy movie could be $100 million on its own. I don't think you get a lot of Swamp Thing then. You get like a little tease of it. You want it more, and then maybe you do something bigger with the character down the line. Also, you know, the kind of talent you bring to it. I don't know. This is a smart approach. I gotta say, overall, I like this news.
Yeah,
Okay.
big
I
time.
don't know why, but right now I like it.
Well,
I like the positivity.
speaking of positivity, back to Wonder Woman. So
Yeah.
we got a new poster, y'all, and she's lifting some hardware.
I want to ask Roxy
Yeah, yeah.
if this is in the movie, but
Do you
I
want to
don't want
ask
to
me
spoil
that or
it.
no?
I don't want to spoil it. No,
Okay.
I'm not gonna ask.
So this poster, it follows the anime-inspired Chinese one that was revealed last week, and this one is just looking ridiculously awesome.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
It does look awesome.
Looks
It does. It has that real old school, almost like Max Fleischer Superman cartoon kind of flair to it, even though it's a photo.
I love that she's flexing a little muscle here, but it's not like taking her everything she's got, too.
And also, here's the coolest thing as well. A fan turned it into a Rebirth poster. So they took this poster and flipped it, and we're going to show this right now. And just really great work. And I tried to find the guy's name who did
that's
it,
cool.
and I could not find the person's name, guy or girl. I don't know who did it.
Cool.
But it looks incredible, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
it
That
looks
looks
really
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, that looks great. Wow, we can't find this person to give them credit?
No,
Matthew
I
Leach
tried.
says it's in a TV spot, so it happens. She does lift the tank. You know what? I stopped. I didn't watch the last Wonder Woman trailer, and I stopped watching TV spots.
Good for you.
I took the advantage of the fact that since I was leaving, I'm like, I can finally not have to report and talk about those things. So I heard people talk about these trailers, but I did not see at least a whole trailer and a bunch of TV spots.
Yeah, not only does it happen, but boy, it happens.
So did you earmuff it at Guardians 2? Because they showed the trailer at Guardians 2.
Oh, no, I went to the premiere of Guardians 2, so I didn't see a preview. And I was 2 rows behind Joss Whedon.
Really?
Which is so, I mean, his head is huge.
And you tickle
big
tortured
head.
him. And that's why
I
he's
did
coming
it.
over
I was
to our
like,
universe.
huge, get down, his head is huge.
Who would have thought we'd have a married and axe murder reference on this show?
There you go.
But Adam Gertler just
Look it up, kids.
It's a great movie. Actually, my favorite Mike Myers movie.
Really?
Wow.
Oh yeah, way better than Austin Powers.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. And Wayne's World?
Okay, sorry. Maybe not as good as Wayne's World.
Damn,
pretty
party
good.
time, all time.
Not as good as Wayne's World.
Swing.
But
Swing.
also, unfortunate news here. Wonder Woman, the London premiere is actually canceled because of following the horrible incident in Manchester this past week, the Ariana Grande concert. Just another event that is actually hard to believe that it happened. And
Yeah, you know what's been crazy about this event? And honestly, I know that this is your people's job, Johnny, but I've seen a lot of stand-ups making jokes about it, and
Yeah.
it's like,
I know.
What do you mean? About Ariana Grande
like,
and her music being so bad?
If I was going to go to an Ariana Grande concert, you might as well, me
Yeah.
too. Like, things like that.
Oh,
And it's
wow.
like,
Here's the thing: you got to
God,
remember, a lot of comedians are tortured souls
Yeah.
and have no heart left.
Yeah.
And that's what
yeah,
happens.
but come
Yeah.
on. I mean, well, we're not
Yeah,
getting
I'm-
into that. But
trust me, I
they canceled this and The Mummy, and I think that I understand why they did it.
Right. I defend freedom of speech, of course. Like, but if you're gonna make jokes about this, by all means do it. But I ain't backing it. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just not the way to go about things.
Yeah,
And actually, so we already talked about really good reviews for Wonder Woman. You know, you are raving about it. Also, there's another article here that we found.
Can I interject? Somebody in the chat
do.
roll asked that Roxy comment on the new DC intro. Did you notice it? Do you like it?
I noticed it. Oh, you couldn't miss it. I didn't want to say it because I didn't know if you guys knew that it existed.
Well, people have been
remember-
talking about that it happened, so I mean,
It's like legitimate perfection. I could not believe, and I've heard mixed opinions on this one too, but for me, I was like, holy crap. Like, it just got me so ready for the film, and watching it, oh my God, I loved it.
And question, is the score as good as we would hope for Wonder Woman?
she did say she did like this score.
I thought so.
The thing is, I'm still excited because I still don't know how I'm going to feel about this movie, which is excited because, you know, Roxy loves Amazing Spider-Man 2 and everything. So,
that is valid.
sometimes we do agree and sometimes maybe not. So I'm still very optimistic.
You're gonna love that DC intro, and you're gonna love.
wait.
No, you guys are gonna love the movie.
I can't wait.
There's
I'm
no way
excited.
you don't love this movie. I really don't think so. It's so good.
Yeah.
Anyway.
They're saying, can you describe it?
I don't
and I'm
think
gonna
you
say
want me to.
no,
No,
she can't.
don't do it that much. But
because we don't want to hear.
Movie pilot editor Alicia Grauso praised the film. She said, DC is absolutely on the right track here. Gal Gadot is absolutely phenomenal as Wonder Woman. She kills it, just surprisingly good.
Yeah.
A truly heroic light DCEU desperately needs.
Patty Jenkins got a great performance out of her, and what I will say, I don't think this is a spoiler, but her smile throughout the film is very infectious.
Who, Patty's? Patty's on camera?
You're saying a
Gals.
DC hero smiles?
and a lot and perfectly.
You know, she is such an adorable human. Did you see the video she posted maybe a week and a half ago? She was it was a Wonder Woman fan day, and she did a video post from bed. She's like, I'm really sorry that I'm doing this from bed, but I
Yeah,
threw
I
my
did see
back
that.
out. And like the physical therapist in me is like, girl, you're rich. I'll come to your house and fix you. Like when people say I threw my back out, that generally means I pulled a muscle in my back and I have really bad spasms. And a lot of people don't realize all you got to do is get worked on by a good physical therapist and you'll be 80% better in a half hour.
That's all you got to do.
So it amazed me, even someone at her level is laying in bed because she threw her back out. I'm like, girl, I'll fix you. Where are you?
Well, I
find
mean, if you reached out to her, I don't know how she would take that.
Yeah,
I'm
me
sure there's
neither.
a lot of people that want to fix Gal.
I'll
at
show
this
her
point.
my degree.
Listen, I'm sure she's
that what
seen
you're
a lot
showing?
of degree pics from people, and she doesn't need your degree pick. Okay.
I'm just saying. If you ever throw your back out, just see a good physical therapist instead of laying in bed. That's all you got to do.
All right, if you say so.
But didn't Patty Jenkins also have something to say recently about potential sequels?
She's been talking all about Wonder Woman 2, referring to Wonder Woman currently as Wonder Woman 1.
I love that.
Yeah, I love that too. Yeah.
Do you have the quote from her?
Look at trying frozen computer.
See what
Okay.
we got here.
So, I mean, basically, you get the feeling that
Here we go.
she should
Okay.
know pretty soon, right? If there is going to be a sequel. The tone of what
Wow.
she's saying sounds pretty positive.
Yeah.
Sounds like if it is going to happen, she's going to be what you got something?
said-
Okay.
Go for it.
She said, it's definitely something I'm very, very, very interested. I love what we've created. I love the team that I worked with doing it and these actors so much that, yeah, we're all very excited to talk about continuing forward together.
And she said, I think it's very important that she goes on to be a very international superhero. I can't wait to bring her to America as well. So that means, yeah, we're doing this again.
Yeah, sounds good. So that's good. And I like that she wants to come back for the experience. That's
Yeah.
good things to hear.
Well, I think especially it's probably easy on her. You know, she probably was freaking out going into this like, crap. This is a lot of hate has come from DC people to the directors. Like, am I gonna get that kind of hate? And now that she's getting the first reviews and they're good, she's probably like, "Whoo, yeah, I'm coming back. Yeah, I love the DCEU. Yeah."
She's playing a very active role in the promoting. I see Patty Jenkins retweeting a lot of people, and even the stuff about like, yeah, let's get it to 100 million. Like, she's retweeting that too. Like,
And you saw with the screenings that Gal and Patty both tweeted out, being like, "Fan screenings, click here within the next 20 minutes."
oh no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's how people got tickets to all these screenings around the country.
When you guys were talking about on the show last week, I experienced the same thing. Even though I was not even going to be in town and I was in Texas, I immediately clicked on the link to try to get a pass.
Like literally within
gone in seconds.
Yeah, in seconds. It was insane.
And then I even signed up for some new DC a VIP club thing, figuring out that I was thinking maybe they would get an
yeah.
invitation right after. Did not happen. It's okay though. What's next, man?
Here's something I'm very excited to talk about. So it looks like we have the role of Black Manta's father is official. Well, I don't want to say officially cast, but he more or less confirmed it. Really talented actor Michael Beach is going to be playing the father of Black Manta, the whole reason why he goes after Aquaman.
And you
you
know he's
actually-
talented how?
Yeah.
I worked with him.
Oh, really?
If you look at my comedic acting reel, there is a scene with me and Michael Beach. We shot it 4 years ago. So there was this project that I got cast as the lead in. And by some small miracle, they got Michael Beach to be in it. They got Kevin Nealon to be in it.
Wow.
And there's another one. I think even Aidan Gillen is in it. I didn't work with him, though. He just shot a separate scene. To be honest, the project has never seen the light of day. They keep telling me they're going to try to do something with it. But I got to work for a number of days with Michael Beach on set.
And he was great?
Oh, he's awesome. He's honestly, if he wasn't a cool dude, same with Kevin Nealon, they wouldn't have been on this project. This was a project that literally had a shoestring budget. They were just doing it because they. So Michael Beach was the star of a feature film called Scrapper, shot by these same guys. So they shot this feature film, and they said, "Hey, Michael, do you mind doing this?" And he was so cool. And these were like overnight shoots; they weren't like regular. And he was the coolest dude. Him and I did a lot of riffing on set. He came up with a nickname for my character on the spot.
What was it?
It was called Boner Dude.
Yeah, makes sense.
Oh, is
So-
that okay?
It was a weird thing, but he would say to me like "Bona Dude," like that was what he would call my character.
Bone a dude. Hey guys, we got Mikey Christmas. We got
Roxy Hanukkah.
Roxy Hanukkah. We got
Don't-
Boner Dude.
That's my character's name in this project, not me.
Boner Dude.
No.
Dude.
Boner
Absolutely
Dude.
not.
Make it happen, guys.
No, do not.
Bona dude.
I
Bona
swear,
dude.
do not make it happen.
Do all the boners
But he
and
played a
that's
character
the
called
dude.
Carlsbad. It was pretty cool, and so very excited to see. I mean, he's an incredible actor. He's always working, but for him to play a role like this, I'm very excited for him, and I think it's great.
Can't wait for
Very important date. It's time to say
Aquaman.
goodbye.
Yeah, we actually are just doing Fast Furious 7 right now on FX Movie Download. So I was like
Hey.
watching James Wan today. Very exciting. Very exciting watching that guy work. He knows what he's doing. Butter Dude, you got any bat news?
Please. Yeah, Matt Reeves is really just circling the universe for possible villains, I guess, Rox.
I guess so, Johnny. Right, Adam?
There's rumors. There's rumors that there. Okay, so people are saying like every villain under the sun is gonna pop up in this movie, including Deathstroke, Joker, Scarecrow, but almost every other Rogue's villain. I don't know where these reports come from, and I think there's certainly a good idea that they might be more, related to the script that had previously done by Affleck and Jeff Johns and all that. And this could be a totally different situation right now.
Yeah.
I find it very hard to believe that they would focus on Joker and Scarecrow since we just had them both in a movie together.
Well, there's rumors that the whole script is going to be redone too. They say Reeves hasn't even started on the film because of Planet of the Apes.
Right, so I don't know how much credence to give this to. So, and then the Josh Gad Penguin thing, like that just seems very on the nose, I mean...
Well, I told you he was in Wonder Woman as Penguin, so...
Yeah, it's Danny DeVito,
right.
so Josh Gad will be playing an ancestor.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I mean,
Wait, how is Josh Gad going to be older than...
No, he's going to be playing...
ancestor, not...
no, sorry, DeVito would be the ancestor of Gad.
The ancestor or ancestor?
The ancestor.
Of Penguin. Okay,
Yes.
got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
Oh,
even
it's making
weirder.
perfect
Because
sense.
the original Penguin appears during World War I, so he would be like a great or great-great-grandson.
Yes.
So Matt Reeves, Batman, that's exciting.
By the way, Tommy Lee Jones showed up too in Wonder Woman, right?
All of them.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he was playing a general, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so.
And the Riddler?
Tommy Lee.
So
Good old
yeah,
Tommy Lee.
the Batman's gonna have a lot of who knows, but it's always fun to speculate because that's what we like to do. Moving on, Charles Roven believes that Affleck will still be the Batman. He's gone on record as saying that because obviously there's a lot of speculation about that as well.
Right.
Yep.
Although
And
he's
so-
not a producer on that film. He did say in that interview,
So
he
this
was
is what he
quick to
says.
say.
He says, I mean, I'm not really involved with the Batman, but from everything, we have a cursory involvement because the character is going to touch us some way. If Ben plays that character, it's going to touch some part of what we are doing. Probably the dark dick part of it, maybe. Laugh at that. No?
But, Dark Dick, yes.
Okay. But I have no feeling whatsoever except positive that Matt loves Ben and the work that he has done as Batman, and Ben thinks that Matt is a really terrific filmmaker. I have every expectation that they are going to make a movie together.
Every expectation still not 100% guaranteed.
And a movie. Not necessarily.
I know. People don't want to hear it, but listen, hopefully it's going to come out and it's going to be Batman. But if it's not going to be Batman, we're not going to know. If he's not going to be Batman, we're not going to know for a long time. So
Yeah.
one
And he
can
is
only
going to be.
speculate.
He is.
He is.
He is.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Cyborg is a film we haven't really heard about in a long time.
Yeah, let's get some Ray Fisher action going, y'all. He said this past week that Cyborg is still on pace for a 2020 release. It was confirmed at an event where people were talking to him, and he did say, let's see, is there a quote from him here?
I just feel like,
What?
how does he know?
He said it's still on to it. Look, what he said, there's absolutely no harm in saying what he's saying, because if he said that's changed, he's offering new information that hasn't been officially released by Warner Brothers yet. So
It's
by him,
all, yeah, it's all going to depend, guys. This isn't an official announcement. He's just confirming what was already confirmed. But if he does well in Justice League and people love him and are buying his action figures and think that he's the bee's knees, if he does well in The Flash, all of these things, then he's going to get a standalone. And if he doesn't,
well, this would happen. This might even happen before Flash. You don't even know about that, because Flash right now is
I think there's no
lost
way.
at sea,
I think there's
too.
no way. You think there's going to be a Cyborg movie before a Flash movie?
Well, listen. Justice League comes out in the end of 2017, which means that if they're going to make a Cyborg movie or not, they can still make that decision after Justice League, just like you're saying.
Yes.
But I think you're right. I think if they do make a Flash movie, I would expect it in 2019.
Yeah.
But 2019, now, if we're already talking about 2018 having one movie, and that's Aquaman, how many could you get in 2019?
Uno,
Yeah.
dos, tres.
Well,
I mean, it would be hard to think more than 3, and it would also hard to think less than 3. Right? Am I crazy? And then also another 3 in 2020. That kind of catches us up, but
and also a lot of high hopes for Green Lantern Corps. This is an article from comicbook.com saying that they're comparing it to Guardians of the Galaxy. They hope to have a number of, we talked before about buddy cops in space. Maybe it could be that route, but no one quite knows. But they do have high hopes for it, and they plan on making it a really fun romp. And to me, it seems like a lighter-hearted version of a DC film.
yeah, I think it's cool, the idea that they're really going to try to expand the outer space world. And it'll be interesting to see how that ties together with Justice
rest of
League,
it,
because
yeah.
is Justice League
I'm
going
excited
to
to
take place
see-
on Earth, or is it going to touch outer space at all?
I'm excited to see the cameo in Justice League. There is expected to be one, but they say it's not expected to be an Earth Lantern like Kyle Rayner or Guy Gardner.
That's what we think. I mean, and it makes sense. So you could get a really cool alien lantern in there before.
You gotta think that's gonna be somewhere at the end of the movie, unless they do a post-credit.
Yeah, something to do with. I think in
no
the third
post-credit
act.
on Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Really?
No, that was confirmed before.
Yeah.
That's not a spoiler.
Okay.
That's cool. And did you miss it, or were you happy to see a movie that ends when it ends?
I know they don't want to be like Marvel, but God, I love those
Actually,
post-credit
I loved the actual ending credits. I thought that it was beautiful. But I always like a little post-credit scene.
Well, you know, a lot of the movies that have the post-credit scene don't have them at the screeners, or they add additional ones. Even Guardians had additional ones that were not. But
Guardians had like 5. I remember waiting.
And I
for
didn't
that.
have all of them in the previous
Really?
screeners until it actually premiered. But I think it was confirmed that Wonder Woman is not going to have. And Patty Jenkins actually said why, but I don't have that information in front of me.
Well, there we go. Man of Steel 2, rumors that J.A. Bayona.
Yeah, so this is born out of the Twitter world. Okay,
I love the Twitter world.
When somebody follows someone on Twitter and someone follows them back, and they're high-profile people, you think they might be working together.
Yes.
So I guess Jeff Johns followed J.A. Bayona. J.A. Bayona followed Jeff Johns.
It's never that they ran into each other at a party.
No, or maybe they're dating. I don't know.
Do people go to parties? I guess they do.
So they do. We don't get invited to them.
Certainly not.
Now, the interesting thing here is that J.A. Bayona, who is about to do who's directing the Jurassic World sequel right now for Universal, I guess that is. He's a very in-demand director. He's also very passionate about the character Superman. Now, this has relevance because Patty Jenkins, as we mentioned before, loves that Superman. I feel like moving forward, Warner Brothers is digging back into that, getting a little bit of that, more of that heart into it, more of that.
So why do you
hope.
think they wouldn't give Patty Jenkins a shot at it? Or not that you just said that, but
Oh, I think because if she's on the right track with Wonder Woman, it's much like James Gunn was like the right fit for Guardians, and it's like let him keep doing that. You know, I don't think it's this question of not giving her a fit as much as I think Patty Jenkins is probably passionate about
Wonder Woman.
Gal and Wonder Woman. Like they love each other. Like all their press is like we want to do other stuff, even non-Wonder Woman stuff together.
yeah.
Next, we got a trailer to watch. Batman and Harley Quinn. I believe we gonna get that set up for y'all. And
Yeah.
let's check.
Yeah,
it
somebody also points out while we're getting that Jay Bayona did a Monster Calls. He
Yeah.
also did The Impossible. I mean, he's a serious up-and-comer, and it sounds like he'd be great to have doing.
We got Kevin Conroy on this one as well. It's PG-13.
They all are these days, or are. They don't mess around.
Like nothing for the young audience.
Okay, we got one Power Girl
Super
jumbo
babes.
combo. Gonna lose that hand, Puddin'.
Wait, is this the Big
Anything
Bang
else for you
Theory?
today,
Yeah.
boy?
Yeah, Melissa Rauch.
Gotta be her.
I don't know who that is.
That's Nightwing, played by the original Robin from the animated series.
Pamela, we are out of time.
Bingo.
At last, Mother Earth's salvation.
Uh-oh.
Look how beautiful you are.
It works. It works. This is no ordinary leafy mouse, but a harbinger of the new age.
Okay.
Ivy and the Floronic Man were up to
I can't read that font.
activities. We need help.
Harley Quinn reporting for duty, sir!
Nice.
God help us.
Where can I find your BFF, Poison Ivy?
I can help you find her, but you're gonna put in a good word for me with the parole board.
No.
You're really gonna change us all into plants?
Humankind have had their chance.
And you've had yours.
I already like Conroy better than in The Killing Joke.
Yes.
I thought he was really lame in The Killing Joke, I have to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought we were friends.
Friends don't let friends kill 7 billion people.
Whoa.
Is that so, Harley?
Is that Swamp Thing?
I don't know.
They're all Swamp Thing. just
No,
for
who is
you.
that green guy in there? I swear it looks
Can't
like
be.
Swamp Thing.
You aren't willing to agree to my terms.
Hey,
Why
no,
should
he's
I
a-
help you?
As insane as you are, you enjoy living.
How about just a little something to sweeten the deal?
She does a good
Spa
job.
day, autograph picture for my little cousin? He's real sick. Okay, fine, whatever.
I love
You're
how
the
much
boss.
it looks like the original animated series.
Yeah.
You know, the style of the art
does.
really makes me
Yeah.
happy. Oh, it was Floronic Man? It's like one of
Oh, there you go.
That's not Swamp Thing. All right, yeah. From up here, it looked like it could have been, and I could have seen Poison Ivy, you know, mentally taking over Swamp Thing's plant brain. But no, I guess it's somebody
You
else.
saw what you wanted to see.
Someone commented Adam's wearing a pumper. What the hell's a pumper?
Ooh,
is that what that is?
Is it a specific kind of lederhosen? I don't know. Is Batman Deutschland fan listening?
I really don't know.
A pomper.
Love her voice. Okay, so people
Yeah.
are not missing the Arlene Sorkin
I'm
original.
loving her voice too. I think she's doing a great job.
It's different. You know what? Sometimes you gotta accept different. It's not as cartoonishly Brooklyn. It's not that original Arlene Sorkin voice. It's a different take on it.
But I think comparing Conrad, like I saw Killing Joke, and I just thought the dialogue in Killing Joke was lame. I thought there was no.
But it wasn't Conrad you had a problem with then.
Yeah, him. I didn't like the scene when
You didn't
him.
like his delivery.
Yeah, like the scene when he goes in to meet with the Joker, and to me it was just like a line reading, and I was like, all right. But that's just me.
Yeah, no, this looks awesome. This is my favorite thing. My favorite cartoon of all time is Batman the Animated Series, and this looks like an updated version of that. So
Yes, it does.
I'm more psyched than this. I thought the Judas Contract was okay. Didn't love it. So I'm very hopeful about this one. Overall, I like these. Yes, I am the German Wolverine. Yes, the Germans.
Totally.
But the animation's not done,
Wouldn't that be
y'all.
Wolverine?
Yeah, Wolverine.
Wolverine. Last piece of info. Vixen will be coming out on DVD and Blu-ray on May 23rd, which means it's already out.
So that's probably all the seed stuff, right?
Yeah,
Just
so
put
I
together.
saw like the first 4 of them. It was okay. It's interesting to me that Flash and Arrow are on the box, as I only remember them each being in like 1 episode. But maybe it changed after I watched. I never saw any of the second season. And they were like 5 minutes, 11 minutes, something like that. And it was good. It was good.
There you go. Well, that covers all the movie news, which means I think it might be.
It's time for
Roxy Striar's TV time. Sing along with her this rhyme. Roxy Striar's TV time.
Justin's fine.
Both of them. Ezra Miller too.
Oh yeah.
TV time. Since you called it out, we have an extra 100 viewers that have joined since.
We're
then,
at almost
so.
500 in the live chat, which
Oh
is
my God.
really incredible considering. Look, we're all busy. We didn't promote like we didn't go crazy.
Love
We
you
just said, hey,
guys.
we got a show tomorrow. We got a show today. But boom.
Love
you know?
y'all. Yeah, it has
So-
nothing to do with the fact that it says free spoiler, free Wonder Woman review.
Hey, whatever. Keywords help, and we're putting on a killer show. So you're welcome, everybody.
Yep. All right, so I'm going to be honest with you guys again. I'm so sorry for my lack of watching Lucifer and iZombie this week, but I did catch everything else. And Adam, I think you saw a couple of things you're behind on.
I'm only caught up because I got home and I just could only pick one thing because there was so many
All right,
weeks.
which
I
one?
picked up on Flash.
All right, so you're all good on Flash.
I'm all caught up on Flash.
Let's talk Flash.
Okay, so
Weird
UK
season
people,
finale,
anybody
man.
who hasn't seen the finale yet, earmuffs.
A weird season finale.
Very weird season finale.
It's almost as if this season didn't quite matter. The fact that it was all about Barry and Iris, and now bye bye Bear.
Yeah, it was like he delivered the invitations really fast. Then he's like, now you have to go to speed jail. And it's
No.
funny that like Jay Garrick was there, but he's like, yeah, kind of like, yeah, I just got out of
not gonna
speed
go
jail. I'm not
back.
going back.
Yeah, well,
so.
he's like, I did a little stint in there, not that down, like, and I get it, but I think it's so interesting. Like Barry's always first to throw himself in the line of fire, and that's how it should be. But how are we going to get him back? Like, what storyline are we going to do? Because I heard some people, Adam, actually saying like, all right, maybe Grant Gustin's gone from the Flash, and it's like, no effing way.
That would never happen,
Right.
and they don't even have the balls to keep him out of like 3 episodes.
Right,
I
no
mean,
way.
like he's gonna be back in the first episode. Like I guarantee
agree.
it. It's interesting. One of the producers though is leaving, right? Like there's a pair of sibling producers.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah, and one of them is not coming back for season 4. of
Who's
The
on?
Flash.
It's just Berlanti, Kreisberg. Who's the?
I know, but one of the other guys.
Okay.
Not Berlanti Kreisberg because it's a Berlanti production. Oh, chat roll, help me out with that. So I don't know if they were disappointed or if they're just going in a different direction or what, or maybe that guy's jumping over to Black
Well, I
Lightning.
will say that to me, this was not of the 3 seasons. I would put this ranked as the last season for me of Flash. It was not my favorite season of Flash.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before, and I'll repeat the point. It seems like with these seasons, you get 2 strong seasons of storytelling, and it's just like, listen, at 66 episodes, that fast, it's just hard. Like, look at how many episodes Better Call Saul does. You know, like they do like 8. You know, really good storytelling. That's not what this is meant to be. They're meant to crank them out. But the effect is, if you're a little bit more of a discerning audience member, you're gonna start to get bored after a while. It's the same thing.
That's
you
the thing.
know?
There are certain shows, like for example, I was talking to a buddy of mine at a show last night who's on MacGyver now,
The Hell Big Brothers.
and
cool.
he said they are doing 24-hour-long episodes in the new season. I'm like, that is insanity.
That's standard.
Yeah.
I mean, it used to be even more like Star Trek. I think did like 36.
Yeah, I mean, it's great for him as an actor. That's more work. It's good, but
Yeah.
it's just nuts. Can you imagine what the writers' rooms are like for that?
Yeah, but the writers are actually happy too because it's more work for them.
guess so, yeah.
No, it's definitely more work for everybody, but it's the storytelling is not as concise. I mean, even a comic book series only has 12 issues in a year. They can only do one arc in a year, 12 issues.
Yeah.
So,
it just wasn't my favorite season. I'm sure we'll bounce back, and I still love it. But I thought that the finale was the weakest of the three. And when I say three, I mean Supergirl, Arrow, and Flash. Now, moving over to Supergirl, so I'll try not to spoil
it's
too
okay.
much.
It's okay if you do. I do know Tyler Hoechlin was back, right? I mean, that was part
Yeah,
of it.
he was back, and he was awesome, and we had a showdown between the two of them. I do think it was a little strange, the results of the showdown.
Okay.
I loved having Calista Flockhart back. It reminded me how much I miss her on the show. Everything that happened with Mon-El at the end, though, I'm kind of bummed about.
Okay.
And I wonder how we're going to get him back, if we're going to get him back, and where we go from there.
It seems like rarely do you keep a leading star and their significant other together for an extended time in a show like this. You have to
Remember-
pull them apart,
And
right?
especially if it's not like comic book approved, it's not. Remember what happened with Patty Spivot on The Flash?
What about it?
They put her off on a train because it's like it's not Iris West.
She
so,
disappeared.
Oh, right.
So what
right.
are we? So what are we
So
doing?
she's still on the train as far as we know.
Yeah, like she's just chilling somewhere else. So it's like with Mon-El, he could still he goes off on this. Sorry to spoil.
It's
but,
okay,
like,
so
Well, she's on the Earth
he
train.
goes off in a
She's
pod,
hopping
and,
from
like,
Earth to Earth.
we could potentially just never see what goes down again.
You can't. How many seasons can you do with her having a boyfriend? Like you did that. You got it. You got to free up
And I
your
feel
main
like
character.
the show did present season 1 thinking that maybe she would end up with either Wynn or Jimmy Olsen. And if she is going to... I just love her with Mon-El, so I'm curious what they're going to do there. But it also wasn't my favorite finale. I love Supergirl, and I felt like this finale was all right. Terry Hatcher's awesome. We had a lot of great guest stars. Linda Carter, obviously, really, really cool to see. But... yeah, Arrow was definitely my favorite of the three. This finale rocked. I can't believe I'm saying it, but Arrow is just so incredibly back. I even liked tying in the flashbacks. I love what happened with Adrian Chase. This leaves us with the biggest cliffhanger of all the shows, and we have no idea how the F we're going to pick up next season because what the hell happened at the end there, guys?
This is
What was
exciting.
that?
I'm actually really excited to see this, and I know that.
Yeah.
So we finally got the answer that Manu Bennett was just trolling us all, and they were just having a lot of fun with that whole thing.
It was trolling the hardest.
It makes me love it the most. Like he was aggressively trolling. I'm like, where it was awkward, and now I think it's just really funny that he was
it's wonderful, and I think it's incredible. So that's
have you
not
noticed-
cool. Using voiceover footage from previous seasons,
not cool.
not kosher.
And then he's like in 2 episodes. It's great. It's like he's in the most of this episode.
So it ended up just being a ruse the whole
Total
Yeah.
ruse.
He was selling it.
He was
Yeah.
selling it. He was taking a page out of your playbook.
But my
Yeah.
question is, I guess they had to agree to do that, right?
Oh yeah, he was like, "We're gonna have fun with it." Listen, they used this social media. It garnered a lot of buzz.
Yeah.
I mean,
did.
it honestly it made people talk
And
about
look,
it. I was talking about
as
it.
someone in the pro wrestling world, a kudos.
Yeah, it was awesome. And he's great. It's so good to have him back. I love what was going on with Thea and her dad, and this one.
John Barrowman was back?
Yeah, yes. And I'm trying not to give spoilers here, so I'll
That's
just
okay.
say
I gotta
Arrow
watch
was the
like
best.
5 of them.
Arrow was awesome. Moving on to Gotham, which I'm absolutely loving, but it wasn't the series finale, so it's less important. This week was not quite as memorable, but the Bruce Wayne and his doppelganger stuff has been interesting. Selena Kyle really growing some balls and kicking some ass. Not that she didn't have them in the first place. I like that James Gordon and Alfred are getting more on the same page. We need that for sure. So on Gotham too.
Someone saying, Ivan Soto saying, I think Mon-El is still a series regular.
Ivan
Roxy.
Soto, what do I say about you and your fake news? You make it up. You're the
Oh no, and that was all in caps, so he did yell that at you. Somebody
I
else
love
said,
you, Ivan Soto, but where?
East Blue Drew said Arrow was the fucking best this season, and they're gonna put that on the box, I believe, for the Blu-ray set this season.
It was awesome, and the finale was badass. And we had a showdown between Black Siren and Black Canary that was really cool. Yeah, the Arrow finale just was definitely the best episode of DC stuff this week. So
I'm gonna catch up on it. And I know you watched the Black Lightning trailer last week. I still haven't even seen it.
Ooh,
It looks good.
I think it looks awesome.
But it's at this point, it's in yet another universe. Mm-hmm. So like that's 3 on one network, kind of.
The interesting thing that you said though is yet, because that's what they said.
Right.
We have no plans for it to be in this universe yet.
Yes.
Yet. Fake news, Ivan.
Fake news.
Too much.
Anyway, that's what we got.
Is that it?
That's
That's it for
TV.
TV. Well,
So the next time we meet, we will have seen the 4th film in the DCEU.
that's the plan. That's the plan, y'all.
Don't quote me. Oh, you retract it, Ivan. Don't retract that statement.
Ivan, until you put a real photo instead of an orange thing, we're not going to take your news seriously. Put a photo up, man. Show us your face.
Show us your face.
Or at least a Batman cowl or
What
something.
did I tell you? You got to add the is to everything you want to be trendy. Show us your face.
That's not trendy. That's like a 1990s thing.
Physics.
Okay. Anyways, why don't we all put ourselves over? We're at DC Movies SK on Twitter, Facebook.com/DC Movies SK. Follow Mike Kolanowski at Mike Kolanowski and Adam Gertler.
Hey guys, I'm Adam Gertler. Follow me at Adam Gertler on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook. Eat my wieners at Doghouse. We're going to be opening in Dallas soon. Very excited about that. I was just in the Big D the other day.
Do you have any dark dicks there?
Yeah, we're going to be serving the Dark Dick on the menu. It's our new sausage for the Dallas area. Watch me and Sasha Pearl Raver talk about movies and stuff on FX Movie Download on FX. And I think pretty soon we might be competing on the Schmodown that y'all like. I think a couple of us will be forming DC Movie News Team, and we'll be in that Schmodown soon.
And there's
so
a
watch for
chance that all 4 of us might be in attendance.
Maybe.
That is definitely a possibility. Possibility does exist.
We'll see about that.
Guys, I'm Roxy Striar. You can find me everywhere at Roxy Striar. Also, over on Screen Junkies, don't forget Friday, 2 p.m. If you want to hear more about the DC TV shows, we'll be breaking down all of them for their season finales. So that will be awesome. Jay Muse will be back in his house.
Nice. Gotta love him.
Yeah.
Fun
definitely.
story. I was on Access Live on Access TV before I started hosting it. I was a guest when Jay Muse was hosting a couple of episodes.
Nice.
Oh, really?
He might remember that. He did not really enjoy the show because it was crazy. It was like live and teleprompter and it was weird.
He might remember that.
It wasn't really his wheelhouse, but it was really fun.
Oh, Stephen Amell is on American Ninja Warrior tonight?
What?
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Is he competing?
Yeah. So it's like Celebrity American Ninja Warrior.
Jesus.
He's gonna kill it.
As if he's-
Awesome. So definitely watch that.
Does he have to be cooler than he already is?
Come on,
Salmon
looks
ladders,
awesome.
though.
Ah, that's great.
Salmon ladder.
At Jay Quasto on Twitter and Instagram. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back from Pakistan, as you know. I was able to put together a trilogy of video blogs chronicling everything we did from Karachi to Lahore to Islamabad. I'm very proud of it. Literally people from all over the world, 18 different countries, coming together to bring entertainment and joy to the people of Pakistan. I'm very proud to be a part of it, and I was proud to do commentary. So that's what I want to talk about. If you guys want to go to my YouTube page, you'll be able to watch it, and it's hard to explain what it was like going to Pakistan, but it was incredible, and I really think you'll enjoy the video blog. So other than that, guys, thank you so much.
Two things. Number one, so am I just an ignorant American that calls it Pakistan?
It's supposed to be Pakistan.
Okay, cool. Number two, we just got clearance from the studio for noon on Friday, so it sounds like that probably, most likely, based on what Mikey, Kristian.
Happy Memorial Day, everyone.
We're thinking noon next Friday, but just pay attention to our Twitter. We got you covered.
Okay.
Love you guys.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, Kristian Harloff, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.